God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Please be seated. Help, I've done it again. I've been here many times before, hurt myself again today, and the worst part is, there's no one else to blame. Be my friend, hold me, wrap me up, unfold me. I am small and needy, warm me up and breathe me. Those are lyrics from Sia's song, Breathe. Breathe Me, I believe. We are not in control. This bothers us. Further, we are guilty. And we detest it. To be out of control is one thing, but to be guilty too, repugnant. Because we nay, we need to see ourselves as good and irreproachable so that we can accept ourselves, accept others. Anything falling short of that is inadmissible. Our person and being, our existence and identity is formed and conditioned on being right and good, or I should say, right, thus good. Our actions must be good because we are right. Our ideologies must be right so we can see ourselves as good. Anything that challenges this association collapses the fragile world we've built around us, where we are king and queen or self-enthroned monarch. We've conflated our existence with our actions and thoughts. We are what we do, we are what we think, we are what we say. Thus, admitting we are out of control, or worse, that we are guilty, is an existential problem. So we must avoid that confession at all costs. I wish I had better words for you today, but I don't. And today is not a day where I have been given sanction to give you a good word. I know we'd like to blame something else or someone else for being out of control and guilty. The sheer terror we feel in confessing being out of control and our guilt makes us eager to displace this repugnant feeling somewhere else. Someone else is toxic. Someone else is the problem. That group over there, that generation above us, that generation below us. It can't ever be us, because that will undo us, unravel us into nothing. Sadly, the very bad news is that we have no one to blame but ourselves. We've done this. We're the issue. Hi, it's us. We're the problem. In our inability to be honest, really, truly, terrifyingly honest, we cause problems for ourselves, but it doesn't just stay there. We cause problems for others. We even cause problems for the whole world. We are out of control. We are guilty. We are undone. And in that state, human beings become ruthless. Ouch, I have lost myself again. Lost myself and I am nowhere to be found. Yeah, I think that I might break. Lost myself again and I feel unsafe. Be my friend, hold me. Wrap me up, unfold me. I am small and needy. Warm me up, breathe me. We'll do anything but confess that we are out of control and guilty. Think of our tendency to resist offering someone a true apology when our actions have negatively impacted them. Oh, I was just joking. Sorry you're so sensitive. Why are you so serious? Oh, I didn't mean it. If you hadn't blank, I wouldn't have blank. I'm sorry you feel that way. Or we let ourselves off the hook completely by blaming supernatural forces. The devil made me do it. We will do whatever it takes to avoid the humiliation of being wrong, because if we are wrong, then we must be bad, because we are dead set that being right means good. Look at our national situation. We would rather spin tales and myths that admit that maybe we backed the wrong horse. We would rather sacrifice our dignity on the altar of Moloch than walk back an ideology that is clearly causing not only pain and suffering, but plainly death everywhere. We'd rather keep straining forward and pouring valuable resources, specifically other human beings, into systems that are visibly broken and destructive to all existence on earth, rather than embrace some self-deconstruction and maybe social demythology and start anew. We'd rather cut off friends and family who have loved us to reinforce our own chosen narratives, defending violent people who don't even care for us a little bit. We would rather lose ourselves to our fear and anger than make a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. We'd rather shrug and keep enduring chaos and tumult than confront anyone, especially ourselves, of our captivity and complicity in all this death and destruction around us. We'd rather die than admit defeat. We would rather kill than declare our guilt. He was despised and rejected by others, a man of suffering and acquainted with infirmity. And as one from whom others hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him of no account. Surely he has borne our infirmities and carried our diseases, yet we accounted him stricken, struck down by God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the punishment that made us whole, and by his bruises we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have all turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. Like a lamb that is led to the slaughter, and like a sheep that before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth. Like a lamb, by a perversion of justice, he was taken away. Who could have imagined his future? For he was cut off from the land of the living, stricken for the transgression of my people. They made his grave with the wicked and his tomb with the rich, although he had done no violence and there was no deceit in his mouth. Using the voice of one of the Isaiahs, God brings us to trial, and we are found guilty. God sent God's self in God's Son, Jesus Christ, and this one is deemed by us unattractive to our sensibilities, unworthy of our care and consideration, and only qualified for our repulsion. Humanity, hook, line, and sinker, rejected this one who was of God and who was truly good. And not so simply a spiritual rejection, but a physical one, handing him over to painful suffering and death. Rather than strip ourselves of our clothing, we stripped him. Rather than bear the pain of reproach, we reproached him. Rather than endure the discomfort of being guilty, we made him the guilty one and sentenced him to death. We are ruthless when threatened with being guilty. What was he guilty of? Just exposing us to the core. Jesus exposed our inability to judge between good and evil correctly. The very thing we craved back in Genesis 3 to discern and judge good and evil comes back to haunt us as we are exposed in our failure. We sent an innocent man, one who upheld the law every minute of every day, to die the death of one who broke the law while releasing the one who did literally break the law, Barabbas. But not just Barabbas. We also released ourselves. In exposing our inability to judge between good and evil, Jesus exposed our guilt. So we condemned him as the guilty one to let ourselves off the hook. As Luther writes, his suffering was nothing else than our sin. Jesus exposed not only that we did not understand the law, but that we also forcibly broke it by forcing it to do what it wasn't intended to do, condemn the innocent and acquit the guilty. In this way, we are the ones who caused Jesus to suffer and to be bruised, but it isn't only his life and work that exposed us, his death also exposes us. His agony on the cross becomes our agony. We are exposed in his death. We are made naked in his death. We are guilty in his death, and our ruthlessness bears its teeth. Crucify him. Isaiah's prophetic prayer highlights that whether we know it or not, whether we want to admit it or not, we are in agony and we are guilty. We are guilty because we believe the mythology that we are in control, because we refuse our creaturely status, because we would rather be ruthless than merciful. We'd rather be right than risk even being a little bit wrong. This agony is not the product of divine chastisement. It's the product of our own hands. We are caught up in the muck and mire of the tension between being held captive and being complicit, and I always want to acknowledge that. But the reality is that we're still guilty. Isaiah says, all have gone astray. We have all turned to our own way. Each of us is called to account for our complicit and captive actions against God's mission of the divine revolution of love, life, and liberation in the world. So, today, we are completely and totally exposed for not being in control. We are exposed as fragile. We are exposed as unsafe. We are exposed as hurt. We are exposed as lost. We are exposed as guilty. We are stuck and captive and desperately in need of intervention. However, we'd rather kill than let someone else help us out of our own ideological and mythological quicksand. Rather than let Christ's voice call us, Christ's actions challenge us, Christ's presence change us, we clamored for Jesus' death and we got it. Good job, us. Because we hate being exposed and being guilty, hate being naked and fragile, hate having to be wrong, confessing our being lost and unsafe, the judgment of God is surely upon us. Today, in this story, we are reminded that Jesus bore our iniquity because he bore our very, very bad judgments, informed by the doctrines and dogmas of the kingdom of humanity and not the reign of God. The weight of that judgment as we watch and witness the death of God by our hand renders us to our own death. Today, our incarceration to our own comfort, to what makes our own selves feel safe, our hard-heartedness and stiff-neckedness comes to a cataclysmic head-on collision with God, and none of us survive. Today, we get what we want. We get to let ourselves off the hook and continue down deadly paths of ignorance and denial. By our own hands, we realize and affirm our captivity to our ruthless, hopeless, helpless, lifeless, and groundless self-centeredness while we parade about as God, proud of ourselves, as the world burns down around us. Today, we are dead. Where we are, as we are, stuck in ourselves, curved all the way in. Because today, we killed God.